Hi, I'm Wendy, and today I'm going to bring you some tips on how to present online with confidence. This is a two-parter, so I'll give you some tips today and I'll come back shortly with some more tips. So, handling online meetings and presenting online does require a slightly different skill set than if you were just simply presenting to a live audience face to face. Mind you, there are some things that do overlap. There are some commonalities there. I'm going to give you, however, today some specific tips on how to excel when you're presenting online. So the first one is familiarize yourself with the technology. Okay, test your equipment. I think that goes without saying. Ensure that your microphone and your camera are on. Now, I had an interesting experience just now where I started presenting and I realized that I didn't have the microphone plugged in, and so it can happen to anybody. So I had to start again. So make sure that you are familiar with your equipment and that everything is on and that the internet connection is working properly. Learn your platform. So master the platform that you're using. If you're using Zoom or Microsoft Teams or Google Meet, master that. Understand what the features are, such as screen sharing and chat, and also the breakout rooms. The second tip I'm going to give you today is to optimize your environment. Now, lighting and background are very important. So ensure that you are in a well-lit space. There's nothing worse than trying to listen and watch a presentation online when it's very poorly lit and the presenter is in some sort of, shadows and is even out of focus. And so you want to be able to sort of see them really well. So ensure that it's well lit, that you have a clutter-free background. If you want to use green screens, or you can use any other type of downloadable screen or something that is neutral would be best. But make sure that it is a reasonably clutter-free background. Because that just enhances your professionalism. Noise control. So minimize when you can and where you can any background noise. Sometimes, there's nothing you can do about, an overhead plane or a lawnmower starting up or a dog barking or the neighbors yelling, who knows. But try, if you can, to be somewhere where you can minimize the noise to ensure that it is easier for your audience to hear. It doesn't detract from your presentation. It helps you remain calm and composed and in control and confident as well too. Make sure if you are using headphones and microphones that they're switched on and that they're in good working order. Engage with your audience. Now, this is something that, I've talked about doing when you are delivering face-to-face, and it is equally, if not more important, when you are delivering online, because you don't have the benefit of being face-to-face and really locking eyes with someone and using a lot more physical gestures. But you do need to engage with your audience all the same. So eye contact, appropriate professional eye contact, looking directly at the camera, trying not to look away too often. Obviously, as I'm doing, you may need to, from time to time, look at some notes. That's only natural. You can't be expected to rehearse and remember the entire speech by heart. So you may need to look away, but try as much as you can to look at the camera, not looking at yourself in the Zoom part, like what I'm doing now, but looking instead at the camera lens itself. And that way you show that you're maintaining direct eye contact with the audience. Addressing the audience members by their name, I think that personalizes things a little bit, and it shows that you're trying to connect with them, you're trying to establish a connection, trying to build trust and engage your audience as well. The fourth tip I'm going to give today is about preparing engaging visuals. So simplify your slides. Now, you don't want to bore anyone to death with, a death by PowerPoint presentation. You want your slides to be very clean, very concise, very visually appealing, something that is going to keep your audience engaged. Visual variety. So incorporate images, incorporate charts, incorporate little cartoons, memes even, to make your presentation even more visually appealing. Practice screen sharing. This is a really important aspect of presenting online. So if you plan to share your screen, ensure that you practice beforehand to ensure a very smooth transition and a smooth experience. And the last tip I'm going to give today, and I will come back tomorrow with more, the last tip I'm going to give today is all about mastering your delivery. So I have spoken before about voice modulation. Pay attention to your voice tone and your pacing and your pitch. Vocal variety will keep your listeners engaged and connected. You don't want it all to be at the same pace and at the same modulation, the same pitch, the same level. You want to go up and down. I mean, it doesn't want to sound too crazy, but you do want to vary it a little bit. Practice and record so you can get an idea of how you sound and think, well, does this sound natural? Does it sound forced? Should it be a little bit more animated, a little bit more exciting in order to have that extra impact? So record and analyze your voice so that you can identify areas for improvement. Use gestures, use animated facial expressions and some relaxed and natural hand gestures. You don't want to be waving all over the place and distracting people, but you should incorporate some very subtle and natural hand gestures. All right, so that's 5 tips for today. I will come back again tomorrow with 5 more tips on how to master online meetings and master online presentations.